Hello everybody, Atsu here, and we are here on a Sunday, even though this should be a Genshin Monday, but as you guys know, I have no organizational skills in my life, so everything is scuffed on my channel. I do apologize for those of you who are hoping for a schedule, whether that be my streams or my videos. It's like a gacha, whether you wake up in time or whether you're even awake when I'm streaming or making content, so I do apologize, but without further ado, let's get into Genshin Monday. Genshin Monday, I'm going to be cycling through a bunch of different characters and taking on a bunch of different weekly bosses while I talk about anything and everything, but today's focus is going to be, of course, the Puppy Chulos, Ayato and Xiao, and we'll also touch on Yoimiya and Hu Tao a little bit because we have got new artifact sets coming in patch 2.6. Now, the most notable one is, of course, the set that everyone is saying is for Xiao. I don't actually remember the name of the set, but it will be on the screen for you right now, and I'll touch on that in a moment. But what else do we know in patch 2.6? Dainsleif is coming back in the Archon quest. My heart dropped because I hoped that when I saw the splash art for it, it was going to be the character banner for Dainsleif, but obviously we're not getting that till like the next century, which is, it is what it is. But for a moment I had hope, and then MiHoYo, Hoyoverse crushed my dreams. But we are getting Ayato, and Ayato, I'm not going to Constellation 6 him. I don't think so. As amazing as he is, and as much as I love his voice actor, Akira-san, who is also Katsura Kotaro from Gintama, finances are a little bit, you know, so we are going to be sensible and not go absolutely ham on Ayato and any more Puppy Chulos coming to Genshin Impact, because the one thing Hoyoverse does very, very well is making very beautiful characters and baiting you into spending just so you can show your true love and appreciation for these characters. Now, the team I'm using right now, guys, for Genshin Monday, I know this is Genshin Sunday, but Genshin Monday is a friendship team, and we're just going to be showing off Xiao and Yoimiya because we are going to be talking about them, the new artifact set. So, from my understanding and just looking at them very briefly, my assumption is, and this is genuinely just a guesstimation, and you're probably way better off listening for a maths person, but I believe that the artifact set for Xiao is not going to be like absolutely broken on him compared to 2-piece 18% attack and Anemo damage from the Viridescent Vanera set. And actually, it's probably going to be less than a 20% difference in terms of damage, which is still a significant amount, 20%. But if you throw in stuff like Zhongli's Resistance Shred or Geo Resonance or, for example, Bennett buffs or any kind of buffs like Sara buffs or whatever to Xiao, then I believe it is diminishing returns. So, if I had to guess, it won't be realistically for most people more than like a 12 to 15% damage increase. And if you're doing like, for example, 30,000 damage, you know, you're not really getting that much difference in damage when you're thinking about it in terms of resin. Is it really worth the resin you're going to farm if you already have 2-piece Gladiators or 2-piece 18% attack plus Viridescent Vanera? Is that set really worth farming? And for me, the answer is going to be no. However, I am still going to farm it because, you know, the resin efficiency and resin cost is still good for me for other characters, so I might as well go for it on Xiao regardless. That is a horrific piece, and that is a terrible drop from Tortellini, man. I have not had Dream Solvent or any billets in a long time. So let me just quickly bring up the artifact set. So it's called Vermilion Hereafter, and it's plus 18% attack for 2-piece set, which is of course very nice. And then the 4-piece says, after using an elemental burst, this character will gain the Nascent Light effect, increasing their attack by 8% for 16 seconds, so pretty much the entirety of Xiao's burst. When the character's HP decreases, their attack will further increase by 10%. This increase can occur this way a maximum of 4 times. This effect can be triggered once every 0.8 seconds. Nascent Light will be dispelled when the character leaves the field. If an elemental burst is used again during the duration of Nascent Light, the original Nascent Light will be dispelled. So basically, you can't have a max stack Xiao on this set and then burst again. For some reason, if you have his elemental burst again, maybe you're playing co-op and you're getting particles like that. If you burst again, then, you know, the stacks don't carry over. Looking at this, you're just getting a crud ton of a lot of attack. You're getting a lot, and I mean a lot of attack, and that's coming in over time as your HP decreases eventually. And of course, corrosion can come into this as well. If you're getting corroded, then other characters who would run this set, not that I think there's any other characters that really want to run this set, can also benefit from this bonus, although I don't recommend, until we have artifact loadouts anyway, to farm this set in order to counter like corrosion. But with Xiao, I don't think this is going to be like an absolutely game-changing set for him. However, if you don't already have Viridescent Veneer 2-piece and an 18% attack set 2-piece for Xiao, then this is like an absolute dream, because this domain actually has 2 pretty good artifacts. The other one is Echoes of an Offering, which is again plus 18% attack. And the thing that a lot of people missed is this is a really good domain for Shenhe. You have 2 different artifact sets with both plus 18% attack, which is what Shenhe wants. And now there's tons of different sets now with plus 18% attack for Shenhe. So this is a very nice, easy way to get 4 pieces of plus 18% attack. And then for the 4-piece set for Echoes of an Offering, you have when normal attack hits opponents, there is a 36% chance that it will trigger Value Right, which will increase normal attack by 70% of attack. This effect will be dispelled 0.05 seconds after a normal attack deals damage. If a normal attack fails to trigger Value Right, the odds of it triggering the next time will increase by 20%. So realistically speaking, every 2 to 3 attacks, you are basically going to hit the Value Right. The Value Right is a big Unga Bunga bonus damage hit. So for example, if you have 1000 attack, you get 700 bonus damage on that hit. If you have 2000 attack, you get 1400, 3000, you get 2100, so on and so forth. And you can see how that's going to slowly increase your damage as long as you keep proccing this. And if you have very high attack speed, which are characters like Razor, or if you can proc this multiple times with like AoE hits or attacks that hit multiple times, I believe it will work as long as it's within the 0.2 second time frame. So something like maybe a Ningguang, or I'm not 100% sure, but I think like Razor, Ningguang can make use of this. But of course, this is mainly for both Ayato and a lot of people are saying Yoimiya. The thing with this is it's better for damage per screenshot. So if you're looking for big damage and you want that extra, you want the satisfaction of seeing a bigger number, albeit less frequently, then this set is probably going to be the one you want to go for. Also, unlike the Shimenawa set for Yoimiya, this will not drain your elemental burst, which is a good thing. On the flip side, of course, a lot of people have already farmed for Shimenawas, so is it really worth it? Again, you have to ask yourself the question, is it worth spending so much resin to basically refarm the set if you've already got one? Because the percentage difference, if I'm just looking at that, I might be way off the mark here, but I do not imagine that set is actually going to make that huge of a difference for Yoimiya. Like, you'll see bigger hits, but the consistency of your damage, I believe, is going to be less. But I'm not 100% sure on that, so I would always advise you should look at better sources than myself, which are going to be like mathematicians or theory crafters. So, off the top of my head, Slice, Ziox, Sevi Plays. You can take a look at Zajef on twitch.tv. And you also got I Win to Lose Gaming. There's a lot of good guide makers out there, and I'm sure I've missed a ton. I don't really look at guide makers videos because, as you guys know, I am paid to win and I'm just unga bunga. So yeah, and I have a general like good idea when it comes to, how to build characters, at least in terms of what kind of stats I want. And of course, if I max refilling all the time, then I can negate most of the stuff in terms of damage shortcoming, for lack of a better term, with weapons and also just having good substats. Most of the time, guys, this is something I feel like a lot of people miss out on, is having good substats is most of the time way more valuable than having a good artifact set. Because like the raw stats alone can make such a big difference. Now, the ideal scenario is to have both the set and great substats. But if you already have some artifacts lying around with amazing substats and you can do like a two-piece, much of the time you'll find that it's going to help you do more damage than if you have like a 4-piece set and you're missing like, what, 20, 40 crit value. It will make a pretty substantial difference depending on the set that you're running. So what I want to really emphasize, guys, is you will hear a lot of people saying, oh, this set is the best for this character, or the new artifact sets are going to be great for Yoimiya or Xiao or Razor or Ayato or whatever. But if you've already farmed, for example, Viridescent Venera, 2-piece 18% attack, you farmed Shimenawa's already, or you farmed Heart of Depths, which is the Hydro set, which I have been farming, not only for potentially Ayato, but also for someone like Child, who I don't have a 4-piece set yet for, then if you have the good substats already, I would not advise you to continue farming a new domain just in the hopes of just absolutely perfecting one character, because resin in this game is unfortunately scarce, it is capped, and it is quite stinky to deal with. So I cannot recommend going too hard on farming the new domain. Unless, for example, you're hitting multiple birds with one stone. Sorry to the bird. So if you want to farm for Shenhe, you want to farm for Yoimiya, you want to farm for like Razor, maybe Ningguang, maybe Xiao, or whoever, or you just want 18% attack pieces, then by all means, go for it. Dream Solvent. This new domain is going to be fabulous. I didn't even look at the artifacts, but let's take a look. I believe that was a circlet and a flower for the Wanderer's Troop. Flower. Okay, well, whatever it was garbage. And then circlet. Right, so the drop was garbage. Let's move on to taking on our beloved La Senora, and then after that we will finish off with the Raiden Shogun puppet. But yeah, that's the main thing I wanted to emphasize on, because I know a lot of people are already asking me questions. Is this set going to be good? Am I going to farm for this set? What I've already started doing is farming for Heart of Depths. I believe Heart of Depths, if you get a good 4-piece, and again, if you have better substats, it's probably not worth farming the new set for Ayato. The Heart of Depths will give you plenty of damage. It will give you a lot of consistency already. But of course, if you want that big, satisfying extra bonus damage here, and if it does crit, then it's going to look even bigger and even better. For the, what was the set called again? For the Echoes of an Offering, let's say you do strike the value right, and you have like, what, 3,000, 4,000 attack with boost, like with Bennett boost. I'm sure the attack will scale off like that. If it doesn't, please correct me. Then if you have 3,000 attack, 70% of that is going to give you 2,100 bonus damage. If you have crit damage bonus on that, you can start getting closer and closer to 5,000 bonus damage on top of whatever you are already going to hit. So that is going to look more satisfying. But in terms of consistency, I would imagine Heart of Depths is just way more consistent for like the base numbers, and when you're not triggering Echoes of an Offering. So do keep that in mind. Next up, we have got La Senora. I'm going to switch to Yoimiya here. And this is my Yoimiya build. Well, actually, let me just show you guys what my Xiao build is. For those of you who are curious, a lot of people do have a better Xiao than me, so don't worry too much about it. I've got 2,344 attack. I've got 75.8% crit rate and 221.8% crit damage. And my energy recharge is 153 when Xiao is not on the field, because I do have that constellation. And animo damage bonus is 61.6%. So my Xiao is already pretty good, and I don't feel like there's a need for me to go absolutely hard on the new domain. Yoimiya, on the other hand, is... Yoimiya stats are 2,169 attack, and she has 74.8% crit rate and 247.5% crit damage, 135 energy recharge, and pyro damage bonus at 46.6%. Which is interesting, because... do I not have... wait, why is Xiao's animo damage 61.6 when he ascends with... am I missing something? I might be missing something here. Oh, it's because... never mind. I'm stupid. I got 15% bonus from the animo set. Okay, let's switch over to Yoimiya and let's take on... we will take on La Senora with the team that emphasizes how bad auto-targeting is in Genshin Impact. Yoimiya and Yaemiko. Well, it's not necessarily that auto-targeting is bad in the game. It's more like not being able to lock onto your characters or lock onto the enemies is quite frustrating. And just understanding the range at which Yoimiya's auto-target drops off is also, you know, it's a little bit tedious. Considering they're a bow character, I would want them to be able to do a little bit better than what they currently do at the moment. But, you know, it is what it is, and can't be too picky with a gacha game, especially one that's catered to mobile. There's not so much you can be doing with the controls, and I feel like a lot of people forget that this game, while it is, you know, most optimal on PC, the largest player base is not PC. It's mobile and console together dwarf PC. Now, I have no official source for that, so I probably shouldn't be citing that, but my general assumption is that most players in Southeast Asia and most players in like India and Pakistan and a lot of players throughout the West are actually playing on mobile. At the very least, on social media, it seems crystal clear to me that most people do play on mobile. When I conducted a survey of my own audience, mobile and console together were the majority, around 60%, and PC was around 30%, and then you have like people who play on all of the platforms as like the final chunk of the 100% there. But I do think it's very interesting that we have a game that is, you know, it's gorgeous. It is quite clearly designed for PC, and it's optimized for mobile. And it's because of that, you know, guys, believe it or not, this is probably why we're never going to get this game on Nintendo Switch, is because most mobile devices that can run Genshin optimally or suboptimally or somewhat decently are better than mobile devices. So Genshin Impact on Nintendo Switch is, you know, it's a pipe dream. It's not going to happen, guys. I'm sorry. It's not going to happen. It is what it is. It's just never going to happen. Let's be real. And on console, you know, I've seen it on PlayStation 4. PlayStation 4 is a little bit copium. Copium is a phrase that's commonly used on Twitch. For those of you who are not familiar with Twitch language on YouTube, copium is like this little frog emote where someone, or the frog is inhaling this gas called copium, where you're essentially coping in the hopes of something. And in this case, Genshin Impact on Switch is not going to happen. Speaking of Genshin Impact on Switch, we actually do seem to have a game that might be, or is being dubbed by some people already, as the Genshin Killer. And what I mean by that is that the game looks good enough to be seen as a threat towards Genshin, which I think is very interesting. It's called Arknights. It's one of the new versions of Arknights. It's not specifically Arknights, which is already a pre-existing gacha game. Where are you, La Senora? Am I just dumb? Yes, I am. And it is an open world. I haven't seen any of the combat yet. I will leave like a small mini trailer somewhere on the screen where it's not obstructing the fighting of against La Senora to show you guys what it looks like. The artwork in that game, or in Arknights' main game, does look pretty good. So, I'm hopeful, not because I want Genshin to die, but I want Genshin to have competition. Because the lack of competition means that Genshin can basically get away with any decisions. For example, if they have terrible anniversaries, give us terrible rewards, or bring out terrible character designs, or suddenly they just stop investing into the game, then it, you know, leaves space for another competitor to come through and be like, hey, we're doing a better job. So if Genshin doesn't step up, we're going to take away all the customers. So that's going to be an interesting and hopefully a very positive dynamic for the gacha gaming community. So I am looking forward to the Arknights game. I've also seen there are other games in the works, you know, that are probably never going to come out, just like Genshin Impact on Nintendo Switch. For example, Blue Protocol. That game looks special. It is something, you know, I was really hoping would have come out this year. Absolutely no news has come out since they talked about it, so I'm assuming that game is just never going to come out as well. So, you know, it is what it is. What can you do? What can you do? But yes, I've been rambling on about many, many, many different things. So what have I covered today? Ayato, Xiao. I didn't talk about Hu Tao. The new set probably is not going to be good on Hu Tao, guys, because you want to trigger the set like 4 times by decreasing your HP. Hu Tao can only do it once unless you're fighting against corrosion. That new set on Hu Tao is no bueno. No bueno. You either want to go for Crimson Witch of Flames or Shimenawas for Hu Tao. And did I touch on Shenhe? Yes, the two new sets are going to be good for Shenhe if you combine them as the 18% attack pieces, not the 4-piece sets. And then will Ayato be good That is the other question that I forgot that a lot of people are asking. Will Ayato be good? I haven't seen his numbers yet, but I'm going to say yes, Ayato will be good. Will he be broken? That I don't know yet. I don't know how fluid he's going to feel in game until I actually get my hands on him, which I will not be able to until like the 29th, which is when he's going to come out. I don't think there's like a clear-cut answer of whether or not Ayato will be good. Now, who do I want to use here? Who do I want to use here? Because I want to do this as quickly as possible. And, all right, Noel, I'm sorry. I'm going to have to drop you. We're going to put young Benette in. This might be a mistake, but you know what? We'll go with Yoimiya. What's the worst that could happen? What's the worst that could happen? Yoimiya, my Yoimiya is cracked, guys, okay? I have very much invested a lot into her. Look at these talents. 666. All right? I believe in the Yoimiya 666. I also believe in the Yaemiko 666. And the reason why I'm holding off, guys, is because I want to save these materials for the future, for other characters. And, you know, I don't know which characters might be coming out in the future where I might need to use some of this stuff and dream solvent it into something else. Who knows? Who knows? I don't know. But yeah, let's continue. Boom. Okay. So I have a C6 Bennett. This is something I've also wanted to talk about for a long time as well. People who hate C6 Bennett because someone on YouTube just spouts like, oh yeah, C6 Bennett is terrible, it's trash, you should not use C6 Bennett. It's so annoying. Like, yes, if you are like a physical damage player, or if you're going for... How do I explain? It really depends on your situation. Because for some people, C6 Bennett is great. If you like playing with Diluc, if you like playing with Yoimiya, which I do, then C6 Bennett is an absolutely fantastic addition because it's going to increase your damage. And I say that as Raiden is going all over the place. And I'm okay having the pyro attacks. You know what I'm saying? Because if you don't have, like, for example, superconduct or physical damage build, actually using C6 Bennett does... like just a little bit increase your normal attack damage or your charge attack damage or whatever, which is really, really nice. Now, if you have a pyro character that you're going to be using C6 Bennett with, it's actually pretty darn good. And I just find it frustrating that so many people believe in this myth of, oh yeah, C6 Bennett is absolutely terrible. It's not. It's completely situational, and context, like always, matters absolutely big time. Right, if we do this and we do this... Okay, are we shredding? We're doing very tiny damage right now. Okay, let's do this. And then let's do... Oh! Can I iframe this? Well, I know my answer to that question now is no. I cannot iframe that, but it's okay. It's okay. Well, I can't with my own skill iframe that. I believe it is possible. It is definitely possible to iframe it for sure. It's just that my skill is not good enough. That's all, guys. I am not capable of iframing, but that doesn't mean it's not iframeable. So do keep that in mind. There's a stark difference here. Oh, my ult has been drained. I'm going to put the shield on. Okay, and then we're going to drop this, and then we're going to drop this. Go on, Yoimiya. Go on, Yoimiya. You got this. You got this. Hit. 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 Let's go. Let's go, Yoimiya. It's your birthday. It's your birthday. You know what? She hits pretty good with the Bennett buff, and I appreciate it. I enjoy it. Boom. And let's finish off with Zhongli, the canonical war god. There you have it. I hope you guys enjoyed today's Genshin Monday, which is coming out on a Sunday. I rambled on about a lot of different things. If you do have any questions, feel free to ask, because I know my wonderful community has some pretty smart people in here. But, as always, it is very much worth verifying and double layering your sources. Don't just take my word for something. Always check up and cross-analyze with multiple different sources and then form your own opinion or get your own research. Or if someone actually shows you the research and the data and then demonstrates and puts it into practice, that's the best kind of thing. Rather than just going with word of mouth, Otherwise, that's how misinformation and rumors spread around. Back in the day, people said Bennett and Xingqiu were like C tier or B tier when they're both like S tier and they're both amazing. Right, we end up with only 2 of these drops, which is unfortunate. It would have been nice to get 3. And we do get a Geo Damage Goblet, but it is not with crit rate and crit damage. I still would like a very, very good Geo Damage Goblet, as well as good Noblesse pieces, as well as good Geo pieces, so I can change my Zhongli and show you guys what it would be like to have like a full elemental burst damage focus Zhongli, because mine is kind of hybrid right now. My Zhongli is able to do decent charge attack damage, is able to do decent pillar damage, and of course decent ult damage. And of course my Zhongli is C6 and also does have an R5. My only character that has C6 and R5 is Zhongli. And these artifacts, the reason I use these, because as I touched on earlier guys, is because the substats are just that good. Like, these substats are really, really good, and my Noblesse pieces do not contest with the Gladiator pieces that I have, so it's very difficult for me to switch off and do anything else. But I am very happy with this build of Zhongli. It has not changed, surprisingly, for a very, very, very long time now. Probably over a year at this point, but you know, it is what it is. And yeah, thank you so much for watching, guys, and have a wonderful, wonderful day. I hope you enjoyed, and bye-bye.